I am here today with my friend and colleague, Dr. John Thomas, who is such an amazing light. He has so much wisdom in the world of health and wellness and some wonderful tips for anybody who's suffering from long haul COVID symptoms. So, Dr. Thomas, welcome to the show today. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. There are so many people I know who, some people just get right over if they've had COVID, the symptoms are gone, it was like nothing for them. And then you have these other people who they have just these long standing symptoms that are lasting for months or a year. And could you talk to me a little about that? Do you have any insights in relation to that?
Yeah, so with everything that's been going on the last couple of years with the COVID, there's still a lot that's unknown and a lot that's evolving, right? In terms of the understanding of why a viral infection hit certain people so hard. So I see a lot of patients, existing patients or patients that reach out to me for some insider answers. And there's a couple of things that I see personally with patients, and there's some things that's starting to show up in some of the medical research. They may be going into it having certain genetic predisposed factors, that they have weakness in antioxidant recycling, and now they get hit with a viral issue. They recover from that viral issue, but some of these biochemical pathways maybe can't get back up to full speed as fast as they maybe need to or should to. And then they're left with some of this kind of long, COVID or these symptoms that just stay with them.
You treat with supplements, you treat with different therapies
Yeah.
different for every virus that gets activated?
Yeah, different for every virus. And, for me, it's a little bit different with my genetic focus. There's things I look at that will look at knowing where some of these viruses really slow down certain pathways that we want to ramp up function. But how to test this is, simple blood work. You can go get, to your primary doctor, find a good functional medicine doctor that can send you for routine blood work. And then from there are some more allopathic or traditional means, antiviral medications, and there are herbs, there are nutrients, there are antioxidants, there are homeopathics that do work really, really well to kind of change that story where you push that virus back into a remissive state, but more importantly, to get your immune system back online so now you're feeling and functioning back to your normal self.
Oh, great. That's hopeful. That's
That's
what
very
people
hopeful.
listening
Very,
that are like
yeah.
very frustrated and still tired and still brain fog out and still and then there are some people who still haven't got their taste back.
And we know with taste and smell aspects, there's a lot of factors that happen when you have viral infections, where it's going to deplete specific minerals. Zinc's one of the main minerals that viruses will deplete pretty rapidly, and it does take some time to kind of restore that deficiency. And once that deficiency is restored, then a lot of times that taste and smell does come back. So working with a functional medicine practitioner that really understands can go a long way in really getting the answers to get someone on that road to recovery sooner than later.
That's wonderful. And I think too, people that haven't necessarily had COVID or don't know if they had COVID, maybe you know, they
Yeah.
won't manifest COVID in their body, but they could still have been activated being around COVID, that some of these viruses, they might be feeling tired and not test for COVID, but
Right.
it may have activated some of the viruses in
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah. And I've seen that with a handful of patients where necessarily they didn't get symptoms of COVID, which necessarily didn't mean them need to go out and get tested, but they were maybe around somebody that, maybe a family member or somebody, in a work environment that did test positive, and maybe it didn't manifest into COVID symptoms with them. I may have got COVID, I may not have got COVID, I'm not sure, but I'm starting to get some of these symptoms that of fatigue and brain fog aspects, mood issues. You got to kind of keep the differential, kind of the radar list that maybe you were exposed and it caused some of those dormant viruses to reactivate that are causing some of those chronic symptoms that are, kind of creeping up on someone.
Now, what are some generic things that people can do every day right now, especially in this environment?
There are some things that we want to do to kind of keep our immune system strong and resilient. And the first thing that I talk about with every patient is, you got to deal with stress. Stress is that biggest thing that really can bog down our hormones, can really bog down our immune function. So how our body copes with stress, and that's, meditation, eating very well, getting outdoors. But from a nutrient standpoint, there are certain things that we know that boost immune function. You're talking about zinc, you're talking about vitamin A, vitamin D, adaptogenic herbs like rhodiola, Siberian ginseng, ashwagandha. Those all are things that can help balance the body and create an environment where our body can take those stressors and cope with them at a completely different level. But stress is the biggest thing that can really keep our immune system in line to be able to fight those things that come at us day in, day out.
Thank you so much today for all of your amazing wisdom. As you know, you've been a light in my life to help me balance my body again and get everything in good working order. And I'm so grateful that you shared your wisdom with our audience today out here. I know it's going to help a lot of people, and I hope you come back and visit soon.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait.
Wonderful. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching Passionate Living. If what you watched moved you or inspired you, the best way you can show us is by liking and commenting on the video, as well as subscribing to the channel.